painful experience because I think it just, not only did it just take longer than I thought it would, it was just, I wanted it to be better than anything I'd put out before, and so I guess I never really compare myself with anyone else but myself, and so competing with yourself is really hard when you set standards for yours, you know, like, it sounds crazy, you know, it's like, but that's really the only person I really compete with, and so it was really hard, and it was really hard to kind of keep setting, you know, like your standard higher, and like challenging yourself, but I think it was also really beautiful because a lot of the mistakes, you know, wound up being really fun and like kind of like making the record, and like a lot of its imperfections, I think, you know, add to the enjoyment of the record. But yeah, the process wasn't that fun, but it was really cool to record in different cities. I was so used to just recording in like my home studio, but it was really cool to record in an actual studio, and I think in the future I'm going to use the studio a lot more as a instrument for sure, and kind of just progress. Some of the songs were like just little bits and pieces that I had to kind of finish, and then when I went to London, I think I wrote like 40% of the album. Like I think it was like Crazy People, Max Potential, Idiots in the Park, the Cult interlude, and I forgot like another song, but it was like 5 of them I kind of just wrote in like a 2-month period when I was in London, and it was difficult to kind of figure out what I wanted to say with the record. I think it was I knew I wanted to say something, but it takes a while to kind of, I guess, express that musically, and yeah, I didn't want to rush it, but at the same time I wanted this record to come out in 2025 because I wanted to put a record out every year since like 2021, 2022, and that was really important to me that I didn't miss a year. So I'm happy I was able to do that. But yeah, it was a humbling experience. It was definitely like I put my all into that album. Like at that point, that was the best I could do. All hug each other. That's it. Like that's really is. We just do the group hug, and we're just like, and we kind of just go on stage, but not really. I try not to I guess like go outside. Like sometimes I like to like smoke weed before a show, but like it's a little tougher to do in Europe. So like in America, it's like you get it at a gas station damn near. But it's like, but yeah, I think just like little things like that. But yeah, just feeling as loose as possible. I was trying to do a lot of like meditation, I guess, during that time. But that doesn't always work out well. And so I kind of just like, I feel like sometimes it's like kind of hard to just like breathe and do nothing. Yeah. So I guess my form of that was I tried to just walk a lot, and I tried to, I was like making little beats in the van. So I was like, I would just take little samples and just kind of like mess around with them and try to stay sharp creatively, because that's my biggest problem when I'm on tour is I'm not able to write as much. So it's fun to kind of just come up with little ideas. But yeah, other than that, like we've been trying to eat more healthily, because the first 2 American tours were awful. We were eating like Ninja Turtles. So it was just like pizza and like chips. It was terrible. My body can't keep up with like a tour or like multiple tours every year. So and it's also, I think it would start to ruin the music a bit if I was just constantly putting stuff out. So I think I just want to just take time and live life and just be inspired and love and write music. Really. I think meeting and performing with Tony Montana, he was on the record, he's on JoJo. He's one of my biggest inspirations. And honestly, just like a lot of the artists in New York and London, like Florence Sinclair is really great. There's like it was really cool seeing when we played Club to Club, I'd never seen Blood Orange before. I got to see like FK Twigs at Primavera, and just artists that I've been listening to my entire life. And like, it's nice to like see them as peers now. Like I was able to meet, you know, Dev, and it was just like, he's really kind, and I just have so many questions and stuff, like, you know, it's just like, it's one of those humbling experiences where, yeah, you don't realize how far you've come, and it's really cool. So I think also the Toro y Moi and Panda Bear tour was really insane because yeah, those were the biggest rooms we'd ever played, and it was really great talking to Noah, and like he's got like he's a big Baltimore legend, you know. So it was it was a surreal experience, but yeah, I think those were some of the biggest moments that happened that kind of humble you in a way. Yeah. I wouldn't be making the music I'm making without like Dev Hynes, for sure. Like, and like, yeah, I could go on about that forever, but you know. I'm like the classic American who just like has all these like movie references all the time. Where there's like this movie, American Beauty, where there's that one character who's like obsessed with the paper bag just like floating in the wind. I feel like a lot of my inspiration comes from stuff like that, just like really random things that just like I was really obsessed with clouds during the tour. I was just like writing about like, I started writing poems on the bus. I was like writing poems about clouds and stuff like that, and just I'm really inspired by my band as well. Like I'm really inspired by my just the fact that they are pursuing music the same way I am, and like that they're taking time out of their life to like come on tour. I'm really inspired by that, by the fans, like, but also just like life itself, I think, is just full of inspiration that I can't even really express, you know? Idiots in the Park was inspired by, I was walking around Boston, my old college town, and there was just like a psychic on the street who was just, I'd never seen like a male psychic before, you know? So it was just kind of just like, he was sitting there on the street, and like he looked really cool. His name was Charlie, and I kind of just like talked to him, and he was pretty good. Like he was wrong about a couple things, but it was just like a fun experience. It's like $15, but yeah, just like little experiences like that. Like I think it's fun to start with realism, but then use your imagination to kind of like, you know, explore different aspects of your psyche and your consciousness. I'm really inspired by the subconscious as well. Like I think a lot of my music comes from me from other timelines and other moments in time, you know, and it's sometimes you get delayed reactions, and sometimes you can't process things in the moment, and you never know what your subconscious is picking up on, you know. And I think accessing your subconscious is the most important thing for my creativity. And music is just like a way. It's the easiest way for me to do that, you know. And it comes with that, and also having a certain skill and like practicing your craft and your medium, and so your inspiration and your skill kind of match in the same way. But yeah, that's really a lot of the inspiration for this record, and just like what I'm inspired by, I guess. Like, and also yeah, just like me, like my life, like, you know, just what I'm going through. It's like, yeah, exactly. That's really all I can write about is my life, you know.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course.
Super nice talking to you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks so much.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.